I haven't used this thing in a little while, and I know I sound terrible. Trust me, I know. I can't tell if I zoomed. Where's the screen? Oh, I did zoom. That's how long it's been. I haven't done this in a hot minute. But it's been a little while, hasn't it? You know? Yeah, I don't know what to say. I guess it's time for us to catch up. Like I don't even know where we should start, because things have changed. I've changed. It's been a wild ride. Believe you me. Believe you me, it's been a wild ride. Like, trust me on it. Like, I've got crazy ideas right now. Who knows? Maybe you'll see something. Maybe. Just maybe. Like, who knows? Maybe one of those things is, like, I come upstairs and I just have a wild idea. So, just now before anybody tries to be like, oh, I know where this is going. No. Not where you think it's going. Yeah, that's right. I'm not shaving everything off. I'm not doing that. Okay? Not doing that. I haven't even got started, so I can't get canceled, but I'm still not doing that to get canceled, okay? Yeah. Alright, now that that's all done, I honestly thought it was going to look worse than this, to be completely honest. I thought it was going to look terrible. But, yeah, it doesn't look half bad. I'm surprised. Now, that's one idea. Do I want to go for 2? Maybe, why not? I don't see why not. Let's just do it. Full send, man. Full send. Full tilt like a Peterbilt. Alright. 2 bad ideas in the tank. 2 bad ideas done. Now, I can't tell what the weather's like outside. I was gonna do like a little story time outside and like talk with you guys out there, but I can't tell if the rose bush is giving me an accurate reading. I mean, like that thing is saying like, ooh, she breezy. Like even that Scots pine back there is just like, hello, she's a little windy. Like I can't tell with the maples because there's not enough foliage to actually be like, yes, windy. I got no idea. So I may still risk it. Oh well. With this year, as I was saying, a lot of stuff happened. One of the things is that I got into archery, got a compound bow. I think I bought a recurve I bought a recurve in the spring. Recurve in the spring, compound in the fall. Got into archery. I bought the compound because I was looking at going for deer this year. Looking at doing that next year now. I may make videos around that depending on if I actually have success or the things that I learn. 2 different things to look forward to. But on the other hand, like archery isn't the only hobby that I'm into. I'll talk about some other things while we're back inside, but I'm not gonna brag too much, but I've gotten pretty dialed in. Like I'll take some shots and I'll show you how good I am. Like, trust me, you won't believe how good I am. I'm stellar. I don't even know if you could hear that because I whispered and the wind's loud. But yeah, as long as I don't hit the GoPro, I'll be pissed. That and there might be a fire. Now, one of the trick things about this bow that was not fun for me. Also, I know you guys are gonna come after me for my draw routine. Please be nice. But no, one of the things about this, or at least when I shoot, depending on what arrow I'm using, because like right now, I use these arrows just for like bumming around, just having fun. But my hunting arrows, when I try to get used to them, like I've lost a couple. I'm not gonna lie, we've all done it. But I had to put in a third-party pin into my sight, or into my sight, I'll say. But I had to put a third-party pin in and put it higher up because these arrows are a higher grain than my hunting arrows. So getting used to these ones, that way I only had to adjust one pin instead of having to adjust all of them. So it still gives me that scale. But yeah, one of the fun things. Now I am, like I'll give you some specs, like I'll say that this is a Diamond Edge XT. I do have it maxed out at 70 pounds of pressure. It shoots 295 feet per second. Like I can tell you those things. I can also tell you that was a bad shot. But don't worry, I'll show you what they all look like after this. Who knows, maybe I'll even like cut it up, make it one by one just to make it look better. Alright, I had my 4 warm-up shots. I don't know how to describe this. Like I mean it's only a field head, so it doesn't matter too much, but like seriously, the field head just came undone and popped out. But I had my warm-up shots. Now I'll show you what I can really do. Oh yeah. And I'm also going to do a different routine based on hunting for this one. Now I will say one of the things about this bow with me compared to other bows, like realistically I bought this bow because it's cheap and it's an entry-level bow, whereas if I were going to upgrade, I'd have to upgrade the entire, like I'd have to get a longer bow, get a 32-inch draw instead of a 31-inch draw, which is what this is currently at, just because I am a taller, like lankier person, so I would have to do that. But that's later when I want to spend a lot more money. Part of me really just wants to go barbecue sauce. Now, follow me to a world of pure imagination. But yeah, been having a little fun with archery, getting used to it, and like I'm just gonna take that over. So now you'll notice these two are in like this. That's because after this shot, I put it off center. I'll talk like this so it makes more sense. But after that first shot, the first shot pivoted the target, so I had to continue to shoot the second on the angle, which is why they're on the angle. But it's still, all of them are within the center. All right. Now, where should I begin? Now, I've been talking about what's gone on in 2025, and so I'm going to continue that. Now, as I've said, I've gotten into like archery and using bows and all of that, but that's not the only thing that I've done and or picked up. So let's start off at the beginning of the year. January, nothing I can remember. February, nothing I can remember. March, broke my pinky. Fun one. What's after March? April, I don't know. May, don't know. June, don't know. July, don't know. August, I got 2 stories. August, so I broke, or not broke, so I got stitches in my middle finger on my right hand, and like, I don't know how you can see the nail bed, if it focuses. If not, I'm just going to sit here weirdly. Oh, there it goes. So you can see here my nail bed's a little buggered. I got my right hand caught in a catch basin lid. That's about, I'm going to say, minimum 90-pound cast iron lid. My finger got caught between the lid and the outside that holds it. That was a fun one. And I got stitches, and those stitches almost ruined the other part of August, which was I completed my first triathlon. And so in doing my first triathlon, like, it was, like, with the stitches, training became an issue. Because I did that with 17 days before the race. And the doctor told me I couldn't swim in open water for 2 weeks. So I did the pool after a week or so, did that, and then as soon as the days came, I checked the weather, made sure it was a decent day out, and I went and swam open water because it was like my second time in the wetsuit. And so I had to do that before race day. So I did that before race day. Everything was good. And so I, went to the race. The race went well. Swim, I didn't realize how much of a spin cycle that was. Like, I accidentally punched a guy. I almost got punched a couple times. At one point I did a barrel roll and all of that. And then on top of that, I ingested lake water, which I know, fantastic. So I did that. And so I'll put the splits at the end, but I did that. And then on the bike felt fine. There was a steep hill, and so people were walking up this hill. I ride up and do the rest of it and come back down, and going down that hill was so much fun. Like, I was hitting like 45 just going. Like, it was just fun. After that was the run. And so, because I ingested the lake water, my gastrointestinal system was buggered. Like, I couldn't ingest the carbs I wanted to on the bike, which affected my run. Because the run, I felt like I needed to run for the bushes half of it. But got it all done. I'll put my times up here and put that there. And then, not a bad experience. The one thing I will say that was a pain in the butt was, so with my watch, I was using a Garmin Vivo Active 3, which is not meant to record triathlons. So I was using a third-party app which used a double-click feature. And so I thought I double-clicked it before the swim. I only single-clicked it. So it didn't record the swim, and then when I got out and clicked to begin transition 1, it registered that as the start. That made me upset, so I went and got a Coros Pace. I think it's Pace 3. And I've been using that since. I don't mind it. But that was the biggest kicker. After that, though, what happened in September, I bought a TT bike. Yeah, don't ask about the training tire, because I put the training tire on and then I tried to do that, but the threads on... The threads on the pins, I think it was the pin. No, it was the threads on the nut at the end were stripped. Or the thread was worn, I don't have a rethreading kit, so I put my bolt on for my original pin. But then that doesn't fit into the groove on the trainer correctly, and I don't want to wear the pin down to the point where I can't use... I don't want to wear the bolt down to the point where I can't use the bolt with the correct pin, or I can't get it on and off in the future, so I just... It's been sitting there. I've been doing bikes on another trainer. Essentially, that's it. But that's not the focus here. That one is. Boom. Boom. But yeah, just still love this bike. Baby, I love you. But that's the new one. That's the new one. And I got that. Now we going places. I'll explain that a little more in a second. And I completed a century ride. And so with the century ride, it was a learning experience. I went into it underfueled, and then I just did a carb, like paced my carbs, and like didn't like 60 to 90 every half hour, did it that way. And so I did that. But like, so where I'm from flatland. Where I did it was not flatland. So for me to go from like, yeah, like I've biked 50, 70 around flatland to biking 100 up there. Because like this summer, the farthest I biked was 50. The farthest I biked all beforehand was 70. So for me to go up to mountain, or like not mountainous, but like hilly areas where it's like all rolling hills, that was an experience. Because I did my 100, and just for clarification, 100 kilometers. Like I did 100 kilometers, and like I felt fine. Like I felt the pain when I got off the bike, because it was a 50-kilometer jump from the farthest I biked before to that, and the farthest I biked before was like a month before that. So I jumped 50K, did that, and it was something. Like I felt my legs lock up, and I couldn't walk right after I did it. And then everything felt fine for a little bit, and then we went out for dinner, and I sat down for dinner, and I went to get up, and my legs tightened again, and I'm just like, oh, this is not good. And so we went, and like we were out camping, so we were in a tent, and my legs were throbbing all night long. I couldn't sleep because my legs were throbbing so much. So at one point, I had to take a spare blanket. I took it, and I tied it around my knees, so that way it would cut off blood flow, or at least just enough, so that way it would like stop the pumping a little bit, but would also warm up like my lower part of my quads, because that's what were killing me the most, just because those are the muscles primarily used for extension. And so I took that, tied that, and I was able to get a little bit of sleep from it, but it was not fun. Like I had a limp for a couple days afterwards. Otherwise though, in September, nothing. October, this is one that makes me happy. I got a King of the Mountain, a KOM on Strava, and like I have been hunting this thing for years. And so I got it. I was using my TT bike. There was a big old storm coming, and I'm not gonna lie, I cheated a little. I'm not gonna deny it. I saw this big storm coming. I'm just like, tailwind. Like it was like 60-kilometer-an-hour tailwinds. And so I go out, hit a spot, turn around, come back in, and I was just giving it. Like I can normally hit like 48 on my bike alone, but with the tailwind, like I was going. Like I think I hit 56 at one point. Again, kilometers an hour. But like I'm down in TT, but the wind shifted a little, so instead of hitting from the back, I felt one go for my tires, and I felt myself sway a little, and I'm just like, oh, this is not gonna be good. But luckily I adjusted, and like it all worked out. And it's not like I have it, it's a tied one, but one of the guys does Ironman, like almost was an Olympian in the triathlon. I'm just like, I'll take it. I'll take that. I will take that any day of the week. After that, November, the 5th of November. I don't remember anything from November. October, I already said October. So I clearly don't remember October, I guess. But, yeah, and then December, which nothing too notable has been December. Other than, right now I'm trying to plan in accordance with what I have going on next year. And so you may be thinking, like, why'd you buy a TT bike? Well, I bit the bullet hard. I got bit by the bug. I signed up for Barrelman Niagara Falls next September. And so you may be wondering, what's Barrelman? Barrelman is kind of like an off-brand Ironman. It's not off-brand. It's a middle distance triathlon that just isn't Ironman. where it's a 2K swim, 90, I think a 91K bike, and then a half marathon. And so with that, you know, I got the TT bike because I'm just like, if I'm going to do this, I'll jeopardize a little bit of comfort, and I want to try to do this the right way. So I bought the TT bike. I got it for a pretty good price. And I just, like, I don't mind it. I've adjusted it to fit me. The only thing is I might have to widen the aero bars. That's the only thing, but it's not terrible. And then after that goal, I have the goal of a marathon. So a month after I do the Barrelman, I'm competing in a marathon. And so you may be thinking, like, you need time to rest, all of that. And it's just, well, yeah, it's going to be an interesting training segment or training program. Because what I'm looking at doing is I'm going to stagger, and in training I'm going to put like sprint Olympic, and then make it up to half, but alongside that I'm going to be incorporating running distances like 5K, 10K, half marathon, and build up. But I already have like some secondary races for each like decided that will just work out best. And that's what I'm looking at doing. It'll be interesting to see how it all goes, because I can say like, yeah, I want to do XYZ today, but I can't do XYZ tomorrow. I have to do ABC. And so we'll see what happens when we get there. But, you know, time will tell. I can create a plan. I try to be loose on my schedule just because of how busy my work schedule is. Because I never know when I'm going to work. That's quite the honesty behind it. So that's why I'm trying to introduce such a long build up. So that way I am able to be like, oh, I can't really work out so many days this week because I have this going on for so many days this week. So it's one of those things where it's just, okay, that's not too bad. I can adjust accordingly. And if I'm ahead, like when I was training for the triathlon this summer, I doubled all my distances. That's just a me thing. I don't think I'm gonna run 80 kilometers or bike 180 kilometers, and I don't know. Run for the triathlon, I might be doing that because I might be at that point in my marathon training. I don't know. We'll get there. But that's kind of what I have lined up for 2026 at the moment. Like, yes, I would have, like, I'm doing Barrelman. My original intent was to do an Ironman sanctioned race, but because of how my schedule looked at the time of registration, I went with Barrelman because it worked out better for my overall schedule. Things changed, so I would have been able to sign up for another Ironman or like half Ironman within Canada, but you know, stuff doesn't happen, or like stuff works out for different reasons. This way, like, I have the longest time to train for it because it does allow for my schedule to be busy. It works out. But, you know, that's kind of the meat and potatoes of it. Now, when it comes to the video side of things, like, I'm still going to try and do ice fishing if we get ice. Like, we had ice and we lost it so far, so hopefully the ice comes again. And then after that, tree work. When it comes to the tree videos, like, a lot of that stuff was, you know, stuff that I do for family and friends, where I don't film certain places because I know people aren't always a fan of it, and I don't film when I'm working with certain people because I know they're not a fan of it and it's not my work site. But when it's just like me doing like favors and all of that, it's not as big per se, where I'm able to like take my time, chill out, and make content for you guys instead of having to do certain things. That's why it's not like Guilty of Treason or August Hunnicky or Rion Rounds where it's a big crew, because in those situations where I am recording trees, a lot of those times it's just like me doing it by myself, or like the one video was me helping a buddy out, so it's nothing too oddly crazy. And then like, I do wish to create content with the running and the cycling. It just creates different boundaries and limitations because I don't have somebody to go with me and record. So it's a little harder for me to set up a camera and do stuff that way. Not saying it's impossible, just takes that little extra bit that I'm still trying to figure out if I like how to do that bit or if I want to do that bit and all of that. But that's a story for a different day. Otherwise, I do want, like, I'm gonna incorporate, like, if I go on trips or if I go camping or whatnot, I do want to start to add those videos as well. Like I said, if I get into bow hunting, those videos might go on here. I'm not too sure yet. But that's the thing, like, with this channel being my life, I do want to make it about what I do. It's not going to be everything. Like, that's the thing, like, I'm not going to put everything. Like, I'm not going to try to phrase it. Yeah. But, with that being said, I hope you all had a great 2025, and I will see you all in 2026. Adios, muchachos. I'll talk to you later.